Okay, well,
I can take them off, but I won't be able to see anything.
We're live. We're just going because it's already 4:32.
Okay, we're trying to figure out the reflection on my glasses, guys.
So, okay, let me see. I'm not sure if I even made it.
Be blurry.
Oh, it's unlisted. So it is recording, but it's not on there yet. I'm
going to need these.
Stream Q and
Hi. Okay, let's do that.
All right, do it, and I'll hit save, and we'll go public.
Because everything was perfect before that. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't have any reflections over his glasses.
Okay. Did Adam and Eve have a date?
They did, and some fig leaves too.
No, they had an apple.
Oh.
They had an apple. Okay. How does a polar bear hunt for its food? With his bare paws. Bare paws?
No, it was good the way it was.
His bare paws?
Yeah, just it's good the way it is.
What do you get when you cross a polar bear with a seal?
Oh, that's much better.
A polar bear.
Okay. Alrighty.
Where does a polar bear keep his money?
Yeah, we're live.
In the ice bank. Okay.
Do I need to get you the link, or you can just go to our page and it should be on there?
Final little details as we do every time. Why are polar bears good to bring to a party? They're great at breaking the ice.
Oh, did you say give you the link? Because it's... I'm hoping that it's updated. Just say like, welcome everybody to our October Q&A live stream, even though it says September.
Please make sure you give us a thumbs up.
No, it says October here.
Ring the bell for...
No, it says September on the...
Oh,
it's not even changed at all. I thought I changed it. Okay. Here we go. Just to
we'll get there.
confuse everybody.
It's live.
Live stream.
I'm not airbrushed.
Or maybe that's... Yeah, let's see. Live stream Q&A, October 2023, live now. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the actual live stream so I can see what everybody else is seeing. Oh,
if you have a utility meter,
that means everybody's getting commercials because I didn't turn it off. Okay.
Sorry about the commercials.
We'll get there. Welcome everybody. If you're on, I don't know if we have anybody on, but welcome to our live stream. If you are, we are just finishing up, getting set up, and then we will be taking your questions live momentarily. See, there's a big window here, and sometimes the sun plays. Sometimes it's overcast, sometimes it's real bright and sunny. So the lighting, we always have to make all these changes to the lighting depending on the sun. So we close the blinds, all artificial lighting, and then there was all these glares and reflections on this. And so that's what we're trying to get figured out. Maybe we could get one of these little balloon light things. Lighting looks pretty good. Has those little filter things. You watch the featurettes of the movies, and they have all those light boxes. Oh, because you need to be in our studio? I would think it would just be... Live from Sequim, Washington. It's My RV Works. We need a band. That's what we need. We need a My RV Works band. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, but there's the link. I'll get you on there. Okay. Live stream Q&A, October 2023. I'll probably just start with some questions. I mean, we don't need to have people on here necessarily to start asking questions, but that's okay. That's why nobody is on. It's because I tried making it public on the minicam side, didn't do anything. Nothing. We are officially public. Okay, good. Okay. Should I do my polar bear commentary? Yeah. I had a nice polar bear commentary. Okay. The jokes. Welcome everybody to our live stream. We are officially set up and we have made it visible to our YouTube audience, and so now we should have some people join in. And let's see, I'll transition and just welcome to our live stream.
Okay.
And we'll be doing announcements in a minute. We'll start taking your questions live in just a minute, but we're just getting prepared for now. So welcome, and feel free, if you are joining us, put in the comments where you are tuning in from. We love to see that. And if you are somebody that we've seen before, it's also fun to see you again. So all right, I'm going to switch back to Darren and we're going to get started, even though, let's see, I think I'm the first one. I'll have announcements, but maybe we'll just start with, let's just start with a question that I have queued up. And okay, so we had some fun emails come through recently. So we've got from Tom. He says, oh, do you think it should be on you when I say it, or?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know either.
So Tom's got a question. I'm just going to write his name so I can remember.
Okay. Oh, actually, Anne, how many people do we have on? Do we have anybody on?
31.
31.
Okay,
welcome.
guys.
Where are you?
Give me just a second. I'm going to try to do a split screen.
Ooh.
That's really what we need.
Okay.
But you know how everything is so different when you're under pressure? How you can how you can get everything the way you need it to be?
Throw a question. I'll start answering a question while we're finding that.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Oh, no.
Well, all I know is Tom.
Oh, that's what you wanted me. No, I'm doing the split screen so that we can, and I think I've got it. Okay. I think I've got it figured out. So it's just
California, Texas.
Yes.
Florida.
Yay.
Michigan.
All places I've been.
The pressure in the moment was too much, but I got it. Okay. Well, we're split screen. Okay, so Tom says, hello, Darren. I watched some of your videos and they are great.
Yes.
I was just up in Port Angeles last week and drove by Crescent Lake. This was the most beautiful area of all.
Yeah, it's stunning. We
rode bikes on the Elwha River bike path. Loved it.
Good, yeah.
I wish I would have seen your videos and known I was near your shop. I should have dropped by. No, you can't drop by.
We don't have a shop. We're mobile RV service.
To troubleshoot my furnace.
Okay,
but so here we're going to go into his question now.
Okay.
So I have a Suburban NT 16SQ.
Okay.
Or NT 20SQ heater.
20. Okay.
With a Dometic thermostat. It was working fine and it stopped working along the trip. Now the blower turns on for about 30 seconds and then shuts off and stays off.
Okay.
I have a 13.6 volts on my house battery. Propane is flowing to my stove and fridge. My heater is not easily accessible and is under a seat that I would have to disassemble. Then has the tin enclosure, so I cannot get to anything unless I disassemble it.
Okay.
Why would it stop working all of a sudden, and what is the easiest or best way to fix my heater?
Okay, so welcome to Port Angeles. It is a stunningly beautiful part of the planet. Okay, glaciers carved a lot of stuff out, and we have 4 seasons. It's really beautiful. It's one of the reasons we picked moving our business here. And I don't know how many RVs we get here each summer, winter, but I mean, it's a lot of people come up here to go on vacations. And it's like the front door to the Olympic National Park. So yeah, welcome. A lot of people come here, even us. So to your furnace, you had a question on your furnace. Now, apparently it was working just fine. And now it will turn on. And what are you doing? That's distracting. Fold it and it'll stick there. Like an origami. Make it an origami RV. What did that do? Oh, okay. So furnace question. Furnace turns on, runs for 30 seconds, and then it will not produce heat and it turns itself off. Okay, here's what's going on with that. I've probably got 30 or 40 furnace videos, and the answer is in those videos. Okay, so let's just kind of go through this real quickly. You can feel free to watch some of those. But that is very distracting. Stop it. Why is there a red cup on the yellow floor? Okay. So to answer your question. Okay. So when a furnace gets a call for heat, let's follow that circuit because the answer to your question is wrapped up in that circuit. It's what I've always called the blue circuit. Okay. The 2 wires leave the furnace on blue. It could be a light blue, dark blue, blue with white stripe, but they're going to be of the family of blue wires. So one of those wires is going to go out, and you said you had a Dometic thermostat, so invariably it's going to go up to your ceiling Air conditioner, there's a control board up in your ceiling air conditioner. It's going to have what's called a dry contact closure. The thermostat's basically going to open and close this electric switch. And then when it closes it, it comes back down on the other blue wire, and that is your call for heat for your furnace, okay? That works because your furnace is actually starting. The first thing a furnace is going to do, I'm not going to get technical on the first thing it's going to do, but usually run the furnace. The first thing it's going to actually evaluate for is the status of the sail switch. So the fact that the blower wheel will actually start blowing tells us that the sail switch was in the open position, okay? So the first thing that thermostat's going to, or the first thing your furnace is going to do is evaluate for the status of the sail switch. If the sail switch is stuck closed, then it will not even try to start your blower motor. But if the sail switch was open, pause, sail switch, that is a little switch mechanism inside of your blower housing, and that is how the control board knows that it has enough air to support combustion, okay? They call it a sail switch, like a sail in the wind, because it's this long arm sticking out there. When the blower is turning, it like a sail, it sticks up, so that's your sail switch. So the control board's looking for the status of on or off, closed or open, okay? You're getting the signal through the thermostat down. You're getting it from the sail switch in the open position, which is what the control board wants to see. And then it's starting your blower motor. The blower motor will run for, like you said, 30 seconds. Normally it's around 15 to 18 seconds. And during that time, it expects to see the sail switch to change states from being open, which is what we started off, and it expects to see it closed. If it sees that, and it's counted to 15 or 20, somewhere in there, then it is convinced that there is enough air to support your combustion, and at that point, it will start throwing matches out. The igniter will start ticking, ticking, and ticking. So let me pause with without going into too much detail on the rest of it, because I've got videos over there. Your situation is your furnace will start, it'll run for 30 seconds, and then it won't ignite. A question I have for you is, do you hear a click sound and some ticking sound? If you hear this click, it's an audible thumpy click sound, and you hear a ticky tick 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 sound, then that means that the problem is on the downstream side of the sail switch, okay? So now you would be looking at maybe a control board, maybe your igniter, maybe the gap of the electrode, okay? But if you do not hear this click sound, and you do not hear the ticky tick tick sound, then that is an indication the control board was never convinced that the sail switch changed states, okay? Okay. There's one more circuit that goes through on this blue circuit. So it starts off at the thermostat, it closes, great, it moves it on down. It's going to go through on the back of your furnace. Now you said you had a Suburban, so yeah, those are going to be on the back of the Suburbans. It's going to go through a high temperature switch. That could be stuck open, that needs to be closed. But where I would ask you to check, it's going to be hard for you to get into this thing, but you're going to do it from your ears. You're going to listen for a click sound, which is a gas solenoid opening, and you're going to listen for some ticking sound, and that's the electrode trying to strike an arc. Listen for that. You could also put your nose near the exhaust port and sniff for some LP gas, the ethyl mercaptan smell. It's that rotten, skunky egg smell, or skunky, rotten egg smell. What's a rotten skunk smell like? I don't know. Anyway, my point. So by just listening, you can tell where the troubleshooting is going to go. It sounds like you might have to pull the furnace to make the repair, because it's either going to be the sail switches faulted out if you have any animals. Now you said you had like a Suburban 16 or 20. These are small little furnaces, so you probably have a smaller RV. And if you've got any animals, unfortunately the sail switches are stuck right in the middle of the blower housing oftentimes, and they're just right in the middle of all the wind blowing, and it doesn't take much for them to get fouled out because stuff gets stuck inside of the switch housing. Sometimes in a pinch you can get you're gonna have to get your sail switch out and blow it out. But anyway, I'm gonna land my plane and move on to the next question. But for you, listen with your ears and use your nose to listen for the click sound, which is a gas solenoid opening, and listen for the ticky tick tick sound, which happens almost immediately after the click of the gas valve opening. It'll ticky tick tick for 6.8 seconds. I don't know why it's 6.8, not 7, not 6, but 6.8 seconds is how long it's going to try to tick itself. But if you do not hear the click sound, it's more than likely going to be a sail switch problem, because the only time you're ever going to get the click sound is if the sail switch has been it has convinced the control board that it's changed states. Okay? So, short answer there.
All right. So
I
we
could have
just
drawn. Okay.
Yeah,
drawn
we
that.
just had Darren answer a question just to kick it off while we were waiting for everybody to join. So welcome to our monthly live stream, and we're excited to hear and answer your questions. Before we like officially start answering questions live, I just wanted to welcome you first. Yeah. And then also just let you know that we do have our How to Start a Mobile RV Repair Business series over on Patreon. So I'll probably cue over to Darren and he can tell you a little bit about that. But so tonight, ask us questions, anything RV related. If you put a Q in the, like before your question or a question mark, that kind of helps us to cue in on which ones are comments and which ones are questions. Also, if you can put the system, or is that what I'm trying to say? Like the manufacturer and the model number of the system that you're referring to. We don't need to know what year your RV is. We don't need to know what brand your RV is. We don't need to know it's a Winnebago 2021, none of that. But what we do need to know is if you're talking about a furnace, what kind of furnace it, yeah, you're on camera, FYI.
What's with you?
Everybody can see you.
You got my polar bear joke just now.
Okay. Yeah, but let us know it's a Suburban, let us know the model number, that kind of a thing. I don't know. She's got the sillies.
Very distracting.
All right. Oh, also to the person in Spring, Texas. Hey. So my cousins lived there growing up, and so the one time we visited them as a child was super fun, and it snowed. It was winter time.
Oh my gosh, in Texas.
Yeah, just a dusting, but it was really cool. Okay, we're going to transfer back to Darren for more.
And you get your giggles done.
More serious.
Okay.
Notes.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, you can tell them about
Ann.
his wife.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell everybody about our How to Start series over on Patreon, and then I will go to our first live question.
This Wednesday, I will be putting up with that for 26 years. So Wednesday, October 11th is our 26th anniversary. Yay.
That we've been married.
Yeah, we've been married. We dated for a couple of years, and then we met in college. So what was the question?
No, I was going to have you talk a little bit about our How to Start series, and then I was going to ask you the first live question.
Oh,
okay. I can just skip to the question if you want.
No, How to Start series. Yeah, just stop distracting. Okay, so bad girl. I have to punish you. So anyway, we were passing a Corvette, and the guy's license plate ring says, "Bad girl, go to my room." So we've been giggling about that. Nice Corvette. Okay, question. So yes, we started a series on how to start, build, maintain, operate your own mobile RV service business. Why? Because I read comments. There's no way I could read all the comments, guys. I love you guys. You guys are a lot of comments, and sometimes I'll get time to kind of go through them, and sometimes they make me feel good, and sometimes they're like, well, just go watch somebody else's channel, right? But there was quite a few comments just like, well, hey, how did you get started and all this kind of stuff, and I would always send them over a boilerplate answer. And then Trisha and I got our heads together, and I was like, well, why don't we start a series on our Patreon channel and just try to kind of workshop out how this would work. And so that's what we started doing, and it was always intended to be a like a Kickstarter, like a beta, like let's just do this. And one of the things we say in that is, don't wait for all the lights to be green before you get started on your dream. And so we didn't. We've had some red lights and yellow lights and green lights, and we did it. Now, so all those videos that we've done, and these videos are, gosh, 20, 30, 40, an hour long, and we're going deep. We're basically throwing the doors of our business open and inviting you in to go around and ask questions. So that's this year, 2023. When 2024 gets here, we're going to keep the content, but we're going to change the program around a little bit. Probably more of a membership base. We're going to have some more deeper content, more handouts and things like that. So this year, 2023, is when we're playing around with just getting out there, getting the information out there, and we're going to be cleaning it up, dusting it off, putting it on a little pretty bow. And so starting in 2024, that program, the information's out there, but it is going to be repackaged a very different way. So if you want to gain access to that, you might want to get in on our Patreon side during 2023, and while it's available for you for either the $15 or $25 tier, all this information, because starting in 2024, the program is going to be there, but it's going to be changed. So just, if you're waiting to all the episodes get done, I think there's going to be in the 50s, 50-something episodes we're going to be recording. Starting in 2024, they're going to be there, but it's going to be structured differently. Okay, so just wanted to throw that out there. If it's something you're interested in, jump over on our Patreon. $15 Patreons get access to the courses because we're really giving you some amazing information for 15 bucks. Are you kidding me? The $25 tier, they have a Zoom call where we actually get to Zoom, and we're getting to know pretty well. We're getting to know some of the guys and gals that are doing this, and we're getting to know them really well. So enough on that. So if you're interested in that, get it while it's still in the first year introductory thing, because in 2024 the program is going to be changed a little bit. Okay.
All right, great. So we'll start with our first live question. And John says, hello, my furnace will cut one time, run for a few minutes and turn off, then will never kick back on. Any tips?
We just talked about the sail switch. More than likely, look at your sail switch. It might be gummed up. If there's any kind of the dirt or dander, if you smoke and all that kind of stuff, that sail switch is going to be absorbed to that. So here's what's happening. Typically, without me actually troubleshooting it myself, typically what happens is when we see this, where the furnace will start up and run great, but then it won't restart. What we just talked about in the previous question was that sail switch. It needs to start in the open state. The control board needs to monitor that sail switch, and the first thing it's going to do is that sail switch open? If it's open, I will then start my blower, okay? But if the sail switch got stuck closed, we've done jobs where people smoke, rather recreationally, and all that tar, I don't know what all's in cigarettes or smokes or marijuana, I don't know. In this state, they can do it legally, but we've been in some of these RVs where it's just, I did a video on one, and there was this yellow film all over the furnace, and it made the sail switch very sticky. Even cleaning the blower wheel was sticky. Not saying you smoke, but look for that. So those furnaces that start work great, and then they won't restart. Typically what we expect to find is a sail switch. When the furnace was done, the sail switch stays stuck closed, and there's no wind blowing on it. There's no wind, and it's not enough just for the lever to close. Look there. Let me do this. Okay, so here is our there's our sail switch. Okay, and the wind is blowing in this direction. So a lot of people are just looking at this lever going up and down. That's not the switch. That's the lever. The problem is this little mechanism right here, okay? So the lever might be flapping around just fine, but it's this little plunger that's on the switch, and inside it's got some contact points. How would you draw a contact point? Like that, okay. Where it's this contact point inside the switch that's failed, not the lever, okay? So a lot of people move the lever and all this kind of stuff, but it could be the contact point. So the contact point is stuck, more than likely. And over a period of time, it'll eventually open again. And then an hour or so or whatever, the furnace will run just fine, but it'll always run the first time. And it's getting some warm air and all that kind of stuff, so maybe it's getting hot and this gets all gummy and sticky. So anyway, look to this. Sometimes what you can do is I use those little cans of office air, and sometimes it's hard to get it's kind of like an enclosed body, but if stuff's getting in there, it's in there. But you can kind of blow it out a little bit. But if it's like this tar stuff, forget about it. You're not going to get it out. If it's got cat hair, dog hair, and everything, forget about it. Just get a new switch. But typically what we expect to find when it works the first time, but it won't rework itself again, is the sail switch is stuck closed. Not the lever, the switch inside. And so, yeah, that's typically what we would find. So try that.
Great. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going to bounce back and forth a little bit on. We've had a few pre-queued questions, and so we're going to get to the live ones, but I'm going to insert a couple of the pre-queued ones up.
Are these ones that would have come in through email and all this? Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So the best way to get your question answered is to join us here on the live stream, but I usually will queue up a couple of them in advance just in case we don't get any. Yeah. And at least we have something to talk about.
Yeah. Instead of polar bear jokes.
And don't forget the thumb up.
Yes.
So, okay, this one I have pictures for.
Oh, okay. That'll be on your side then.
Yeah, I'll move my, or I'll turn my laptop and you'll get to see the pictures. Yeah. Okay, so it says, this is from Dave.
Hi, Dave.
And he says, hi, Darren. I've watched many of your videos and find them very helpful. I have a 2020 Lance trailer with a 7-foot slide. In the last month, the front lower corner fails to suck up and seal when in. See attached photos, which I'll show you in a minute.
Is it a Schwintek? Okay, carry on.
I think so.
Okay. So
all other corners are sealed and tight. When slide is out, all 4 corners of the slide inside my trailer are tight and secure. I can physically partially push in the unsealed lower front corner when in, but then it returns to its annoying state of approximately 1 to 1 1/4 inch gap. I've resynced the motors numerous times and that didn't fix it. I took it to an RV repair guy locally who said he was Schwintek certified. He stated all tolerances were fine, sprayed some TPFM. I think
Teflon.
Teflon, yeah. And said I probably shouldn't worry about it after collecting his money. Okay, so here's the picture.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
And probably, I don't think they can see it on the live stream, but you can see that kind of a little bit of a, yep.
I would love to know if that is a, well, okay, he said Schwintek. So Schwintek.
Yeah, and he's not live, so you'll have to.
Okay. So I want to draw this. Okay, so basically, here's the deal on a Schwintek. So it's like a bottom corner that he can physically move back and forth. If you can physically move that back and forth, you have a problem with the bearing block. Okay. More than likely, it's going to be that little plastic shoe, or it could be. I don't think the spur gear is missing any tooth because he says it's not skipping. But more than likely, it's going to be the shoe that is allowing that bearing block to move. Okay, so to fix that, it's involved. Okay, so let me take a minute and try to figure out how to draw this one. Okay, yep, got it. Okay, here I have a vision. Okay, so here is the room that goes in and out, and here is the wall of my RV. Okay. And so we're looking at the room, and the Schwinteks have this little track with all these little teeth. I'm not going to take the time to draw these things. Then they have another one up here. With me? Okay, there's all your little teeth. The important thing is there's a slot right above the teeth. Okay, there's a slot above the teeth. Imagine that slot is above the teeth. Okay, where I want to focus on this is I want to really kind of develop this part of it right here. So I'm going to draw it a little bit bigger on purpose, okay? So here is inside my wall. Right here you have a bearing block. Let's go like that. And here you have a bearing block. This one's the one that's got the motor on it. Okay, now on your bearing block you have a spur gear that goes around and around and around. And then you're going to have what I like to call the fin, okay? So the fin is right above the bearing block. Now, Lippert, I love you, but please quit redesigning these things. This fin, I'm just going to rotate on the side. That fin could come out and go up. The fin could come out and go down. The fin could have a slot notched in it. It could not have a slot notched in it. The width of this has changed. The height is pretty much the same, but the width has changed. And also, down here, you have this little void that's part of this little bearing block. And the height of the void has changed. So you have these little gibs that fit into this. And so, 7, 8, 9 redesigns on this thing? Quit it. Stop. Because it makes it very impossible for any shop anywhere to stock parts for these things. I could have your bearing block, but guess what? The diameter in my gib is changed. So now I've got to change my gibs. Or maybe the H column that these fit in is either narrower or wider. So they've changed the diameter of these things. Your gib could be steel. It could be like a polyurethane. Your fin could go up. Your fin could go down. The slot could be there. The slot could not be there. The shoes are different. So just stop redesigning these things. Okay. Now, going back to this, you have a drive shaft that comes down through the bearing block. This bearing block is the same as this one. I'm going to focus on this one. I hope you guys can see this. So the drive shaft is spinning and it's turning this spur gear, okay? And it's synchronized with this spur gear right here. The spur gears are totally in sync with each other because they go through a drive shaft. That's another thing they changed. The drive shaft used to be this circular thing with little notches like this. And now they have a drive shaft that is like a stop sign. So they've changed the drive shafts. So now the spur gears aren't even interchangeable because the inner profile of the spur gear, it's just quit changing everything. Okay, so if the motor's sitting on top and the motor is spinning, then we can say that that spur gear is turning and the drive shaft goes all the way through. So if this guy's turning, that guy's turning. Wonderful, great, spur gears are turning. Room's going in and out. If you have a broken tooth, you'll skip. But this bearing block needs to be enmeshed, I will use the word enmeshed, with this rack. Okay, you will know you've succeeded if you were to take a rack and take a bearing block and slide it in on the end. But there's also an important thing down here is like a little ceramic wheel that rides in a groove on the bottom of the track. Okay, so the locking mechanism of this, and this gets to your question, the locking mechanism of this is, let's do a track. Okay, here's the track, and let's just make this one be in one with a fin that goes up. Okay, and then this section here has all of your the teeth, and then we can make this thing go out like that. You with me? Okay, and here's all of our teeth, and then this is the track that the top fin rides in. So the fin, this fin is in the top track right here, and what keeps it engaged is a ceramic wheel on the bottom that's riding in a groove on your track. Okay, so if the ceramic wheel has failed, which also could be your problem, your ceramic wheel is out, then guess what? The bearing block is not tight. If the shoe has failed, then the bearing block is not tight. And then so the thing's going in and out, and the reason it's going in and out is because this top one's doing all the work and he's just along for the ride. And all the weight of these rooms are supposed to be on the wheels on the very bottom. The wheel should be 24 to 36 inches in space. So your problem with your Schwintek being able to, if you can push this thing, you're not supposed to be able to push a Schwintek. The only way you can push a Schwintek is disconnect the wires that go to the control module, and then a couple good corn-fed boys can put their shoulder in it, and they can override the gear meshing in that motor up there, and you could push it in. I've done it several times. It takes a lot of effort to get it going, and once it starts going, you just keep going with it. All right? That's how you move it, and you need that much effort to do it, okay? But if you can get your little person out here and use your hands to push this at all, and the rest of it's locked in, and you can just wiggle it back and forth like a loose tooth, it's either the wheel, the ceramic wheel on the bottom of your bearing block, or the shoe that snaps on top of this fin has failed, giving this bearing block some play, and that will prevent this gear, the spur gear, from engaging with the teeth, and that's where you're getting your slop from. How do you fix it? Well, you got to take the H-column off, okay? You got to take, if it's a bottom one, you take all these screws off, pull this rack loose, slide your bearing block. We got to pull your drive shaft up, pull your bearing block out and end, put the new ceramic wheel on, put the new shoe on, put a new bearing block on, slide it back on, realign everything, and put it all back together. Then hopefully, when the manufacturer put the H-column on, they didn't use rivets. I hate when they use rivets. It makes it very difficult to service. So that's what's going on. You got a problem with your bearing block. It's either the ceramic wheel or the shoe. Okay? All right.
All right. So we've got some questions queued up, and we are going to get to those. We did want to, though, we have a special announcement that we wanted to share with you about a cool product. Yay. So I've got both of us on the screen, so it's split screen. So I'm going to give you one of these and we can both open it. But we met some guys from Oregon, and they produce a product that is called SaskLatch. And so if you are wanting to keep your RV door open and not have it just swing shut, like when you're going in and out, they developed and designed this product because they got tired of theirs breaking. So it's got all sorts of cool specs that they've given us, but I'll give you
Yay.
That one.
Okay.
So they sent us a couple. Actually, they just sent us a couple because they'd seen us on YouTube and they'd followed our channel, and I think maybe had helped them with a repair or something like that. And so they just sent it to be nice. But isn't that so?
Want me to open it?
So cool. Yeah, you can open it. They also have a Christmas tree one. That's the one I want to get. But we don't have a trailer that really works for it yet. We just have a little pop-up.
Ooh, and it comes with a sticker.
But let's see.
I like that.
Do I need to?
I like
You're the one that knows how the camera works. Anyway, so that's like the little SaskLatch. Let me show you the little printout so you can actually see
I think the
what
sticker's
it
cool.
is. You want to hold that up to your camera,
Okay.
Darren? There we go. So their website is just SaskLatch.com. We'll put it in the, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Wow, this is like good plastic.
Yeah, they told us some of the specs.
Just
so it's
no, I didn't.
No, they actually said we could do a video where we try to break it. But specially formulated nylon composite, 11,600 psi tensile strength. So it's made in Oregon.
I know we switched to metal.
Guys, you guys did good. I work on these all the time, and they're always breaking. This plastic is really legit.
Yeah, they made it for full timers.
Yeah, this is not your little cheap. The sun's gonna cook it off plastic stuff.
Yeah. So we've got a code for you. If you go to their website and you can put in the code MyRVWorks at checkout, you'll get 10% off. We'll go ahead and put their website in the chat. So SaskLatch.com.
I could just tell that the feeling of this plastic is much more robust than what these are normally made out of. I mean, the wind blows and it breaks. Where's the which camera's going?
Both of them are on.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. They always get pulled out of this spot right here. Right. The sun cooks them and then it gets all brittle.
Yep.
And they always pull out of right here. But I can just tell from the feeling that this is not your grandpa's door latch.
Well, it might be your grandpa's. It's not how they make them today. It might have been how they made them back then.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe it is your grandpa's. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of fun. SaskLatch. I like it. SaskLatch.
Yeah, so check them out.
Nice profile.
SaskLatch.com and use
a groovy sticker. I like the sticker. It's a cool sticker.
Oh, we got a little sticker too.
Yeah, did you get a sticker?
Yeah.
I got a sticker.
So we'll give a shout out to Jeff because he said they might be tuning in on the live stream too. So
good job, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. For
yeah, and the little keeper little thing where it latches in. It feels like a Lego. I'm just gonna play with it.
Maybe when you do the furnace on our RV, we can swap it out for.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put this here so I don't get distracted. Andy, you want it so you can get distracted?
All right. Oh, so
this is legit.
Let's see what our. Oh, I wanted to give a couple shout outs. So we've got some people on here that are over on our Patreon. So Patrick, Chris, Rick, and Ron, shout out to you.
Yay.
I'm pretty sure all of you are. I know 3 out of 4 of you, but I'm pretty sure all 4 are on Patreon. Cool. Patreon. And Patrick, I'll take a look for the Facebook page request and go ahead and approve you. Thanks for the heads up. All right, so next question. Oh, actually,
thanks for your support on Patreon. It does make a difference and it helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this was in reference to some of the furnace things that we've already been talking about, but I just thought I would just say. So Aaron said I had the same issue with my NT34. I think that was maybe from the beginning one that we talked about. Chunk of carbon on the electrode. A little emery cloth fixed it, which was good because of the wrong replacement. I don't know. Sometimes it gets typed in funny. But anyways, he said learn this from his video. So I don't know if you meant yours or what. Okay.
I've got a lot of furnace videos. We get a lot of work on furnaces up here, so that's kind of like a bell curve of our videos as furnaces.
And then Jared says, along the idea of furnaces, mine ignites explosively, then shuts off.
Okay.
I can hear the combustion multiple times.
What I would have you look at, is that a Suburban?
Doesn't say,
it doesn't matter.
Jared, if you, okay.
It doesn't matter. What I would have you do is look at your burner head, okay? You probably have a hole in it. And let me just go there for a second. So if you have a Suburban burner, okay, and their burners look like this, and then maybe like that, and then there's a plate with a bunch of little holes. I'm not going to do the thousands of holes. And so when you're looking at it from above, it might look okay. And I've talked about this in some of my videos, and I've even got some videos of these things. You turk this thing out and turn it over on the back side, and you will see a big hole in the bottom of it, and that's caused from oil in the LP line that comes from your pigtails. And so what's happening in your instance is if the hole's not there, then the gas is atomized, it's a vapor, it goes in here and it just kind of fills a vapor, and then the igniter is igniting it, and then you have a nice burn. Well, when you have a hole in it, the gas is dumping and it's exploding, okay? And but we also see this on the old Atwoods. Haven't seen it on a Dometic furnace because they're basically relatively new, but the old Atwoods, we have seen, theirs are going to be more like that, okay? And but we have seen where it's just totally etched out in this area here, where the screen with all those holes on it is just gone. And so that's where your little explosion's coming from. It needs to go through all these holes and atomize, and it's not. So you'll need a new burner. The older Atwood furnaces, be careful on when you're going to go buy your, and I'm saying Atwood, I know Atwood bought Dometic and all this kind of stuff, but your Atwood, your Hydroflame 8520 something, 8520 I believe, you're going to have a hard time, and there's several of the old Atwood Hydroflames, they're really orphaning the machines. They've destroyed the machines that make these things because they want you to buy a new furnace. That furnace has been out for 20, 30, 40 years. And but here's the thing I want you guys to be careful of. If you do need a new burner for the Atwoods, I haven't seen this on the Suburbans. I've seen it mostly in the Atwoods, where they say, okay, well, yeah, it's $29.99 for this new. This is the burner, okay, and but that's not correct, okay? Because to order this new burner head, you need to know two things. You need to know the model number and the serial number of this furnace. And I've gone on Amazon and I've gone on these websites like, yep, it works on all 8520s, every one of them. Oh, really? Well, then how is it, Mr. Manufacturer of this product, how is it that you're able to get this burner head to work on all these three different product changes they've made over the years? If yours does all 8520s, then how is it that then maybe Atwood didn't realize that, oh, well, they changed the length of it here, maybe it's a little bit longer, or they I call BS on that, okay? So if you're going to order a new burner for your Atwood, the older Atwood Hydroflames, you need to know the model number and the serial number, and make sure that the serial number series will work with the burner head. And do not be surprised if you find out that they're all obsolete, okay? Do you want to show them that Pantera exploded view thing?
I don't think we have a way to
well, we
do
on that.
have a way. If you want to keep talking,
yeah.
Maybe.
So go to panterasales.com. So I'll just walk you through it. Go to panterasales.com. She's going to try to cue that up. Just give her a few minutes. So Pantera, P-A-N-T-E-R-A. Did I do that right? Panterasales.com. So panterasales.com. They're a wholesaler. Okay. So basically, that's a website that an RV tech or a shop would go to get the parts on wholesale. So panterasales.com, but when you go to their main website, what you're going to find is on the bottom, you're going to find a parts link. She'll try to find it there. And what you have access to right there is the exploded view of quite a few RV appliances. I'm overwhelmed. It's 260-something pages of exploded views of all these furnaces that I'm talking about here, your refrigerators, awnings, TV antennas, water heaters, furnaces, all these exploded views. And it's from these exploded views that you might be able to find out what the part number is for that, or maybe look at the exploded view and see how it all gets put back together again. But what I've been using that for years. Pantera was a wholesaler. We've been using Pantera for the beginning of our business, and so they used to have they still have a catalog, and it was the back half of that catalog that had all these exploded views, and I have relied on that like my Bible, okay? I'm working on a refrigerator and I need to know what dinosaur board goes in it, and I go to that exploded view in the back of their catalog, and I'd find out what the model number, part number is for this refrigerator board, and I get the part number, and then I'd try to find a cross-reference over to the dyno board or something like that. So then Ann here found, I guess in the last couple months, that Pantera came out with that same information that I've had, that I carry that. I got a dog-eared catalog that I just won't get rid of because I've got notes in the margin and all this kind of stuff. But now they made it available on their website. So that is a huge resource for anybody needing to know an exploded view or a part number. And it's fantastic. Love it. And shout out to Pantera for doing that. Thank you. Support them if you're a RV technician and you need to buy some parts. hey, get it from Pantera, because if they're putting that information out for us, we can reward that behavior, right? I tell my kids I reward good behavior and I discipline bad behavior. So they did good, so let's reward them. I'm not sure if a non-wholesale account can buy from Pantera. Do they have walk-in?
So I've got it up. It's like really slowing down the computer. So
okay. Well, just PanteraSales.com. I don't know what she's got there, but yeah, that's going to help you find. Okay, so we were talking about your burner popping and blowing up, and I said it was going to be your burner here. And well, where do you get the part numbers for that? Well, go to PanteraSales.com, go to their website, down the bottom, click it, and then make it big, and down to the bottom right-hand corner, you can go full screen on it.
Oh, where it says quick reference parts breakdown?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, give me just a second.
Yep.
I think we've got that.
So that's worth the cost of admission for that, is just having that. I've been using that for years and years. Even in some of my videos, I would make reference to this resource that I have with Exploded Views. Well, it was always this Pantera catalog, and now they've got it available for everybody to go, and it's a phenomenal resource. I use it all the time. I really do. I can't keep all these numbers in my head. Now, I will mention this also. Don't be surprised if you find the part number in the Pantera Exploded View and you enter it, and it's changed 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times. But it gives you a starting point on where to start entering that. You could go to, like, on Bing. Bing's got their chat AI engine, so I'll just put in that part number and well, this goes with this, this goes with this, this goes with this. So, a tremendous resource.
Okay.
And one more thing.
Okay.
On that resource that I talked about, you're going to see everything I just said about the serial number. Go find a motor for a Suburban furnace, and it'll say, well, before serial number and after serial number. Why? Because one motor is 2.5 inches and one's 3. So if they say, oh, it fits all Suburban furnaces, I say BS on that, because what's serial number? And the model number stays, but the serial number series changed. All of Suburban's serial numbers, the first 2 digits, is a year of manufacture. And they've had furnaces that have been out for long time, and so based on the first 2 digits of the serial number, you know the year of manufacture. That kind of helps you understand, was it the 2.5 inch motor or the 3 inch motor? So just, if you're going to buy a part, most parts houses could care less what year, make, and model of the RV you have. It matters what the appliance's model number and serial number is. That's how we get parts. If I needed a part for my 2015 Ford F-350, I can go to Napa or AutoZone, or I got 2015, need wiper blades for it. Oh, okay, that matters to them. But for RV work, I don't care what year, because appliances could be changed out so easily. Anyway, okay, on to the next point.
Okay, and I did want to let you know that coupon, sorry, turned it at the wrong time.
Bless you.
The coupon is good for 30 days, so starting today. So that coupon for the SaskLatch.
Yep.
SaskLatch.
Get your SaskLatch, and also before the end of the year, get some access on our Patreon before we change the program around on everybody.
And the code is MyRVWorks. Okay.
That what she said. That's
hard.
hard.
A bunch of times.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer a generator question? There's been some comments back and forth, so I think maybe they've been able to be addressed based off of the interaction.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe, but. Generators, I used to work on generators, and I stopped working on generators just logistically in the field. It makes it very difficult to stock all the different spec of air filters and oil filters and fuel filters, and then to get rid of the fuel and all that. So I have stopped doing generators, and I don't even keep up with them anymore. But I can give you general high-level stuff, but there's other people out there that can really help you more specifically with generators, because I just stopped dealing with them totally.
Okay, we'll just move on, because it's just kind of, I've replaced a couple of things and it won't start. So we'll just let the people in the comments help with that. Okay, so Benji says, good morning. This was an email question, so it's a pre-queued one. The gibs have broken away from my H column. Okay. Can they be replaced, or do I need a new H column?
Nope, they can be replaced. Do it all the time. Here's a cool thing on those gibs. So here's your H column, okay? And here is your bearing block. Okay, and here's where your spur gear would be. Okay, and then what's up here? Oh, the fin. This is where the fin is. Okay, so this is these lobes, if you will. Okay, so the gib is something that has a rivet going through it. So this is the outside of your H column, and then this is where the mushroom head of the rivet is, and this is the all squishy area of your rivet. You've got quite a bit of area within this void. I had a rivet that had a long mandrel on it, and I'm like, I'm going to try it, and if I need to, I'll just cut it off. And so I put a rivet through here, and it was the right size. It was just a little bit too long, and I had all this extra I'm gonna call it mush, you know, where the mandrel pulls through and it expands the rivet, and it had no problem sliding in there and it didn't touch anything. So yes, I would use a steel rivet, okay, and use a steel rivet to put it through there, and you can put your Gibbs back on. It's something we have to do frequently when I'm working on a customer's RV and we've got some parts we're having to play MacGyver out in the field, marine, right? Improvise, adapt, and overcome. And you just got to figure out something to get them going again. And so this is how I know that this dimension right here is changed between how many times has Lippert redesigned these things. I love you, Lippert, but quit redesigning these things. It's impossible. And so sometimes the only thing I've had to do in the field is to drill out the old gib. The gib is this big, it was metal for a long time. Now it's a poly. It's this piece of, and what that does is that allows this bearing block to kind of float back and forth just a little bit. When you get these things, you'll see a little hole right in there, and there's little plastic rivets down here that just kind of holds everything together. I think one side's gonna be a little plastic rivet, the other side I think are aluminum. They're designed to break. So like that is to say, one side of your slide room is going to be the anchor side, and the other slide is allowed to kind of float a little bit. There's so many little teeny, I'm going to call them imperfections, but I don't mean to call out a manufacturer. Oh, I'm talking like little 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. As that slide room is going in and out, it might deviate just a little bow a little bit. And so the room has to allow for that movement, expansion, contraction. It could come out of the factory perfect. And then over some time, it just starts to fatigue a little bit. So these bearing blocks need to be able to move to accommodate for that so they don't eat themselves. And so that's this channel right here, the bearing blocks allowed to float within the H column. And so, but they keep changing the diameter of the Gibbs, and then they go from steel to plastic. And so yes, the answer is yes, just put in a new rivet and they work fine. And you always have enough room inside of this void here for the mushroomy part to get out of the way. Works fine. I have to do it all the time.
All right. Ever since I tried to pull up that page, the computer's running really slow.
Oh no.
So I'm just
okay. I just wanted to share that resource with you guys because I use it all the time, and I know if you're looking for parts, exploded views are just the best way to go.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, because somebody said you have to be a dealer or tech for Pantera, and so yes. I don't think what you're saying though is to buy from them necessarily, but just use that as a resource.
It's a resource
for finding what you need.
Yeah, I use it as a resource. It's PanteraSales.com is available for anybody with a web access. I don't think you can buy from Pantera unless you have a wholesale account, and but you could still say thank you to them, you know. And but then you could find a shop that is going to order the part and say, hey, make sure you order from Pantera because they're the ones that got it for me. But it's a tremendous resource to help find parts. And then on our website we have the manuals. You could get manuals on there as well.
Okay, and then Rick had said, I looked online for Lippert training and it looks like you need to be a tech before you can take some classes. Is that true? I would like to somehow get proper training on propane systems, ideas. So I think maybe those are two different things. Okay. I'm looking on Lippert's website right now, and I do see they have like technician training, RV owner training. Okay. So there is a distinction there. Let me see. These classes are intended for dealer, OEM, and mobile techs only. So whether or not they would require certification, I don't know, but it looks like their intention is for it to, some of those classes to be specifically for RV technicians.
Yeah, and I know, okay, so Certified RV Tech, we need to do continuing education credits. I think it's like 40 hours or something like that. I'm always in classes, so I'm so beyond the points. But I know that for technicians, we do need to go to continuing education credits to maintain our certifications. But the other thing is I like going to a class with other technicians because we can skip over all the newbie questions, okay? So there's classes where they're teaching to the RV owner, and I love you guys, but if I'm going to go to a school, I'd much rather go to a school where I'm with like-minded people. We've done our prerequisites. We're all certified. We've crossed our T's, dotted our I's. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get busy. Let's get down into some meat. And I would prefer going to a class like that because I am a certified guy that does deal with this, okay?
I think he's talking like, because over on our Patreon side, we've told people that they don't have to be, you know, like certified, okay. Yeah, to get started. And so I think the question is like, if I'm an RV tech, not yet certified, do I have to be certified in order to take the Lippert trainings?
That would, I don't know. We'd have to ask Lippert and all these places. But the last thing I want to do is try to break my arm. But dude, you can watch my Lippert, my Schwintek videos and learn more than you would learn in a classroom, because we're actually in the field doing this stuff. And I don't know how many Lippert videos I've got, but we've got a lot of them. And so that'll help. It really will. Certainly go get training from Lippert, but they're going to give you a cool hat. And a lot of times they feed you. It's always kind of nice. But Lippert training is fantastic. It's some of the best training I've been to. And I've actually gone to the one, I think it's in Goshen, somewhere up in Elkhart area. I'm a plank owner. The very first day they opened up their school that used to be the old H1 Hummer factory, the paint was still wet on the walls. It still smelled like paint. We were the very first students that came through their brand new Lippert training facility. There were still parts of it that were under construction when we went through. So I'm a plank owner in that facility. Then they had, I think the air conditioner was either freezing cold or burning hot. It was either on or off. And I'm like, you need to put a variable frequency drive in this thing. Anyway, so I don't know. That's up to Lippert, but I would prefer personally, Darren, if I'm in a class, I'd rather it be people that are serious professionals in this arena, because the camaraderie and the questions we ask and we feed off of each other is better than if it's mixed with, well, they have this only one RV, that they only own this one RV. They're only going to work on their one problem, and all the questions that they ask are about their one RV, their one problem. So that they can keep their system happy. And I love that. And there's courses or classes that they offer for that. But what I deal with is like, okay, well, on this day I worked on this one and here was a problem, but then on that day I worked on that one, I had this problem. And have you ever worked on it where there's a freaking pantry wall right here, you can't even get into that? That's what we get into in those classes. I also heard a question on the LP side. Different states are going to regulate LP service work differently. For example, we moved up from Texas. Texas Railroad Commission is very, very strict about making sure that you are properly trained, that you are licensed, that you do have insurance to work on propane in that state. And if you're found doing it without proper certification, you can be fined. I moved up here to Washington, and anybody and his brother could work on it, which is kind of scary. But so you need to check out what's going on in your state. We do have a company, T3 Interface, where we do sell LP tap jigs. And
I think you've bought some of ours.
Yeah, our disclaimer on those is like, hey, it's up to you to figure out. Like, I can go buy tools that a heart surgeon's going to be. I can go online. I could buy all the scalpels and sponges and hemostats that a heart surgeon would use in their craft. Doesn't mean I'm going to go perform heart surgery. So anybody can buy our tools, but I'm putting it on you guys to make sure that you're licensed and everything. But I have done quite a few. Also, I've done quite a few videos on LP. And you can learn a lot about LP just through watching those videos. I'm not the only guy out here that's doing videos on the content, but I have covered a lot of stuff in those videos. I do have a desire, this will be coming out in 2024 in our new platform, which I have yet to mention, but I'll be doing some really deep dive content. I've got, I think I'm up to 58 pages. I've got 58-page outline that I've created on LP. And we're going to go really deep, deeper than I've ever gotten in any LP training course I've ever gone to. Those, they just try to run you through and you get your certification, just get your check mark, great, you got your stamp. Ours, the course I'm going to be putting together, is extremely deep. We're going down to the molecular structure of propane and why it does what it does and what it does inside your body when you inhale it and how it kills you and how it's made and how to understand all that. So that's the propane side. So
all right.
Be looking for that in 24.
We are going to wrap up, and I know you have.
Oh wow, that was fast.
It was fast, and we have some questions still, so we'll try to do some rapid fire Q&A.
Okay, let me focus. Okay.
But it looks like Ron mentioned he was just at the Lippert for the technical training. Not everyone there was certified. However, all were either already techs or preparing to start their business. So thanks for that info, Ron.
Perfect.
So so it sounds like if you're not interested in the tech side of things, there is a space for that. But if you're going to sign up for one of the courses that's geared towards techs, you should be not necessarily certified, but definitely
in the industry.
Yeah.
And get insurance, business insurance to cover if you make a mistake.
Okay, let's see.
Not that I need that. No.
So we want to give a shout out to Tim, who said that he just replaced his first and hopefully last cooling unit. So it doesn't sound like he was intending on doing that, but it was a necessity, and so he did it, and
Cooling
so
units are awesome.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Good
cooling
job.
units are awesome. I will probably be coming out with another video very soon on doing a cooling unit. We've got one coming up this month, and we'll be doing. I think I'm going to be doing a video of that one.
And then we've got, Ben is actually on, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're watching on the same one, but that is our SaskLatch.
Oh, very good.
SaskLatch, guys, we're having a hard time. The first time I said it good, and now every time I'm having a hard time.
If I see it written, I can say it.
Yeah.
SaskLatch.
Yeah, so he's one of the SaskLatch guys,
SaskLatch.
Ben. So thanks for tuning in, and we're just so thankful that you guys reached out to us, and just
cool.
Happy to know you, and we'll look forward to seeing your products and what else you guys develop. Yeah. So, okay, we'll do just a few like rapid fire.
I'll try to be focused and answer quickly.
If you don't know, then it's okay. Just let me know.
I'll say go fish.
Okay. So Dave says, I have a gray tank sensor that doesn't register. Does that mean the sensor is bad? The others work? No,
it doesn't. Watch my video on the sensors. It could be your monitor panel. So just, I did a video. I don't know what playlist it's in, but I did a video on all about those tank sensors and how they work, and I put them in water, and we had our meter. This is the one where I had like all my meters out, and then I learned that Fluke isn't spec to go down that low. So watch that video, and it'll help you tremendously understand how your sensors work, and may also help you figure out that the sensor doesn't have any broken, the sensor itself can't break. There's nothing to break on it. It could be a wire, it could be the control module itself, which is what we found on that video. So watch that video to answer that question. Go.
Okay, and then Lee says, Darren, last week my Suburban SF30F had its combustion fan wheel spin weld itself to the fan housing. I just got my parts and was wondering what the correct spacing LR, left, right, inside the housing should be.
My go-to is kind of like Good Old Boy, okay? So you're gonna put that cover over it, and you can't see it, okay, when it's in there, if it's what I'm thinking of. So basically, I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna spin the combustion wheel on the side, and let the blower wheel on the side, and let the combustion wheel. If it's, I could put it in the middle, okay, and yeah, just keep it in the middle, and it's good enough. I've also done a video on that. That was a video we've done, gosh, it seems years ago, where I take it apart, and I'm in my old shop from 3 or 4 shops ago. But I think I also had my, back in my day, Pluto was a Planet t-shirt on. I don't remember. But, so, there's no science to that. It's just make sure it's not rubbing. Because it's going to have enough velocity of air flowing through, so if it's off by a millimeter, I don't think the wind's going to care. But just, you don't want any rubbing on that. But yeah, those, when they weld themselves, it's hard to get off, and they're just stuck. So I feel for you.
Okay, and Patrick asks, what is your opinion on a metal blower wheel versus a plastic one?
I like plastic a little bit better. Metal, once they get out of alignment or out of true, it's hard to get them back on. You have some vibration and some rattly ticking sounds. But basically, going back to that Pantera sales thing, I'm going to go to that exploded view, find the part number, and put the part number in that the manufacturer specified it's supposed to have. That is to say, if the spec was a metal wheel, guess what I'm going to put back in there? A metal wheel. Because that's what the spec is. Now, on that, if I'm going to be changing out a motor for a furnace, I stock combustion wheels and blower wheels, because sometimes it is literally, I'm going to use the word impossible. Everything's possible, but you will lose half a day, seriously, trying to fight to get the rust off of the shaft. You don't have any room to work. You can't get behind it. They don't give you any room to work on these things. So sometimes it's easier it's a $12 or $20 blower wheel. So sometimes it's easier just to destroy the wheel, cut it off, get it out of there, get the motor out, and then put a brand new wheel back on. Because after you've manhandled and fought this wheel, it's not true anymore. It's like it's out of balance. So anyway, my opinion is go with what the manufacturer specs. Of the two, I like a plastic one better than a metal one. They're a little bit more forgiving. If they get out of true, you can kind of wiggle it around a little bit. Metal ones, I've got to be super careful when I'm taking them off so they don't get them out of balance alignment in any way at all. So. But sometimes the metal ones are easier to get off because they have a brass collet that slides on there, but sometimes it doesn't matter.
All right, so Tim is the one that replaced the cooling unit, and he put 2 comments that I think are supposed to be together. He probably just ran out of characters. So he says, as I mentioned, I just replaced the cooling unit on my refrigerator. Even on the lowest setting, the refrigerator side gets too cold. Thermistor is giving the correct ohms when tested. Can it still be bad, or do I need to check something else?
Even on the lowest setting, it's getting too cold. Even on the lowest setting, it's getting too cold. On the lowest setting, it's getting too cold. Thermistor is good. Thermistor is giving the correct value. Okay, so here's how I would do that. Again, I like data loggers for these things because refrigerators, maybe you don't have data loggers, but I'll tell you how I would troubleshoot this. Data loggers are wonderful. I use them a lot on refrigerators because refrigerators are slow. Okay, you don't know if you've succeeded or failed until like a day later, or at least many hours. So I leave a data logger on the thing. What I'm going to be looking for on that refrigerator is I would be testing this on electricity. And what I'm going to want to look for on that, Tim, is did that, I would put and I like, what is it? On my website, I've got an Amazon link, affiliate link to, and I think it's under Shop Tools or something like that, but that's where I've got my data loggers. So I think Supco would be the meters that I'm using for that. You got New Log and Supco are the two types of meters I use. So the Supco meters do temperature, and so I would put one in the freezer in the refrigerator compartment, and then I would take the AC current data logger, and I would monitor the current going to the heating element, and then let it run for a day or two. And what I would expect to see is then you can use Excel or whatever, you can look at your graphs to see like, oh wow, temperature's going down, which is what you're seeing. Did the AC element turn off? And I've even got through New Log, I've got a data logger that will monitor ohms, and so I could monitor the thermistor on that as well. Put it all in Excel, clean it up, change your scaling, and then everything kind of superimposes on itself. But so with the New Log sensor, I can monitor that. So it sounds like it very well could be a control board, and what you'd be looking for is that relay staying on. Okay. That relay that controls the heating element should be clicking on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off throughout. I've got I don't have it with me, my computer's there, but another video I'm actually putting together for you guys. It's going to take me a long time to put it together, but I think it's going to be a nice one, and this one might be something we'll put on our other platform when we get it going. Is I have all these data loggers, and I'm monitoring all these refrigerators, and I'm running them on AC and DC, on gas, different temperatures, and it creates a sawtooth pattern. Okay, so what you should expect to see on your on electricity side is that relay on your control board clicking on, off, on, off, on, off all throughout the time. So it's kind of like, think of it this way, it's kind of like your oven when you're cooking pizza or something in it. There is no 300-degree setting. That oven's either on or off, and the way it maintains 300 degrees is by the turning it on for a period of time, turning it off for a period of time, turning it on for a period of time, turning it off for a period of time, like a plane on autopilot. It's always making these corrections. So it could be a failed control board.
All right.
Is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So, but that's how you approve it.
So this is going to be the last one. Any ideas why a new battery would be dead? Any
ideas why a new battery would be dead? Because it's not charged. Is this like a polar bear joke?
No, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
Okay.
Okay. But that's
you might have a capacitive discharge going on there. The meter I have, the Fluke 325, will read current, and so when everything's off, you can clamp on there, zero your meter out, put your meter at a right angle to the wire, clamp around it, and with everything off, see if you've got a capacitive discharge. You very well might have a bad battery. Okay, it is possible that somewhere inside the battery, one of the plates is not connected to the bus like it's supposed to be. If it's not that, then it might be capacitive discharge. Something is just draining this battery down quickly. Data log again. I put data loggers on these things to babysit them, and the information you get from them is so rich and amazing, and you really are able to understand circuits so much more clearly. I've got an oscilloscope and a bunch of data loggers just to kind of see the circuit, because we can't see it with our eyes. But capacitive discharge would come to mind, or it very well could be a bad battery. Okay.
All right. So we are going to wrap it up. Sorry if we didn't get to your questions. I think I got all of them, but I'm also on a delay, and so I'm not sure that I did. I just wanted to celebrate that even though it took us a little bit of time to actually get on here and make it visible to YouTube and all of that, we didn't have any audio or video issues
Oh wow!
recorded.
Yay!
So
Okay. See, that's what our Patreon does. It allows us to buy lavaliers and better cameras and tripods, and so we're just throwing it right back into you guys. You know, when you do that.
All right, and so I just wanted to remind you to go check out the SaskLatch. Do you want to hold out the product?
Yeah. Okay.
And so you just go to www.sasklatch.com.
Which camera's going?
That info will also be in the description. So if you want to check it out afterwards, you can go look at this video and it'll be in the description along with the code MyRVWorks, and that'll get you 10% off. That coupon code is good for the next 30 days.
Who doesn't love saving money?
Yes.
And then,
American-made product. Which is that camera
Made in
on?
the USA.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay,
are.
so that's their thing, and then remove old latches. Am I in the center if I hold that up? Looks like they have a video on how to install it.
Yeah.
So you need a video to take screws out and put screws in. But no, there's
Some people do need videos, baby.
So yeah, made in Oregon. Is that Oregon or Oregon? Oregon? Yeah.
And then head on over to our Patreon site to sign up there so that you can get access to our How to Start.
There's a website right there. Is that website in there?
We'll get it.
Okay.
How to Start a Mobile RV Repair Business series. As Darren mentioned, we're going to kind of reformat that at the beginning of the year. So if you want to get in now, we've got a really affordable way for you to watch those videos. So you can join at the $15 or the $25 a month tier level, and the $15 a month tier level gets access to all of the videos as well as the $25 tier, but the $25 tier also gets a monthly Zoom call. So and there's two $25 tiers, doesn't matter which one you join. One of them has a monthly Zoom call on Wednesday. The other has a monthly Zoom call on Saturday. So you just pick which day
different days
you want. I think they're close to being full, but there are a few spots left in either of those.
Yay.
And so we're actually going to head on over to Patreon now. All of our patrons at any tier level get access to a bonus live stream. So we're going to head over there and
come on over.
We'll answer more questions.
It's very intimate over there. We like it.
Yes. Well, tell more polar bear jokes.
And we do go live on YouTube every month, the first Friday of the month at 4:30 Pacific time. And that is the best way to get your questions to us. So if you have a question, you're certainly welcome to reach out to us by email or phone call. But the best way to get your question answered would be to ask it here. And so hopefully we'll see you next month. We'll be going live the first Friday. Let me double check. I always like to.
Because sometimes life gets in the way.
Yep. So Friday, November 3rd, we'll be going live at 4 o'clock. So we hope to see you there.
Wonderful.
And until then, take
happy
care.
Happy Halloween. If we don't see you between now and then.
Yep. Maybe we'll see you over on Patreon.
Yes.
Happy camping.
Happy camping.
All
okay,
right.
guys. Thanks.
Bye.
All right,
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Now I have to figure out how to end it, and we're super slow because
We can
every
reboot
time
the computer.
Maybe how do you clear it, Cash? Because mine's giving me hiccups.
I'm trying to end the stream.
Okay.
But every time we do that one part where we add like a website or whatever on there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
It's okay.
It's a great resource.
Are we still live?
We are still live because my computer is running super slow.
I'll do your clearing cache up later.
So